bitches Gabe, real, real, real. Yeah. It's Gabe, real, real, real. It's a motherfucking Megadon with guns like Megatron. Your money short like a leprechaun. Bust a rock, call me Steph LeBron. When I hit him in their chest, they gone. Rest assured, I'm the best for sure. Got a special whore that does extra chores. Give me neck and more when I wreck the core. Hit her in the head, leave a messy floor. Yeah, I'm the one rapper you don't wanna fuck with. Couple years ago, I was on that dumb shit. But now I'm back with the bench as I take over the rap game and put it on my back like I run shit. Put in work like overtime, the coldest rhyme. Tell me why I'm so divine, I blow your mind. Then tell your hoe she fine. Tell that bitch to come here cause her soul is mine. Nobody else has a stamina in the battle of rap. I call the Santa, but you're harder than Africa. I'm attack with the back of ya. Stripey Adam's avatar, I shatter and splatter the shit like abracadabra. I'ma beat you with a stick like a fucking pinata. All these bitches talking shit, but they're sucking a ladder. Dick, so now I gotta slaughter your daughter in Guadalajara. They gon' drink a bottle of water. Yeah, maybe that's just part of my fantasy. I'm a star lord like I'm guarding the galaxy.
Hey now. What's going on, everybody, man? What's going on? Welcome into the podcast. I hope this message finds you good. Hope you're doing good mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all those great things, guys. Welcome back to the Gabriel podcast. It's your boy Gabriel. I'm with my boy Lewis back again for another part two, because last time was so crazy we had to run it back.
Yes, sir.
Part two. Welcome in, brother. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time.
Oh, no, thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be back. And again, big shout outs to you because, man, not too many people are brave enough to, speak the truth or, put themselves out there to, talk about the things that we talk about, because it's too many people are scared or, they don't want to be ridiculed or deplatformed or canceled. So, no, big shout outs to you, man, because it's
appreciate it.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Drop one bomb. Speaking of dropping bombs, guys, Israel hit Iran with a bomb, taking off a lot of their nuclear programs. I have this post. It's called Operation Rising Lion against Iran just yesterday. And I'm going to read a little bit of the headline. Israel launches Operation Rising Lion against Iran. Israel has initiated military strikes against Iran, known as Operation Rising Lion. Like they're lying. Rising Lion. Targeting nuclear and military sites. This operation follows decades of tension due to Iran's nuclear ambitions and rhetoric against Israel. The strikes have led to significant explosions in Tehran and include an alleged assassination of key Iranian military figures, escalating fears of wider conflict in the region. Now, something specifically it says, this operation follows decades of rising tension due to Iran's nuclear ambitions and rhetoric, guys. So if you have nuclear ambitions, just if you want to make sure your country is building nukes to be able to, keep up with the modern technology of, every other huge country such as Russia, United States, China, North Korea, because they're making nukes and because they have rhetoric against Israel, that sanctions enough. I guess that warrants a reason for them to go and bomb Iran. So we got the Allahu Akbar people in Iran. What are they called? The Muslims. The Muslims, the Islamic, but they're like the radical Islams, the Allahu Akbar people. And they are fighting against the sneaky Jews. So it's like, when everybody was talking about who are you going to vote for, who's the lesser of two evils? Who is the lesser of two evils in this? Who do you think? I mean, because on one end, and we know not all Jews are bad, but the ones at the elite, the ones who are running the military in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, who have been bombing the shit out of the Gaza Strip, killing 50, 60 innocent women and children every single day, to no end.
But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, you just look at all the videos. I mean, as far as I can see, everybody in Israel now, I mean, they're all pretty much evil, man. I mean, even the civilians, because they interview them, and what do they say? Oh, it's good, kill them all. They all deserve to die.
They say that?
Yeah, they do street interviews. There's constant Christians that like to go over there to try to talk with some of these Jews, and there was a video, man. I was gonna send it to you. He's telling this Christian guy, no, the godly thing to do for me is to kill you. Like you're goyim, you're lesser than. The Talmud tells us that we need to kill you, the people of Edom.
They actually say that?
Yeah.
Really?
It's crazy. Yeah.
So you mean like your average Jew?
Average Jew walking around in Tel Aviv or wherever you find yourself in Israel.
Really?
Yeah, they go spit on Christians. They
well, I know
rocks,
that. I know that part.
Yeah, they're doing that constantly.
I heard about that part.
Mm-hmm.
But there is Christians who say that you have to go to the Holy Land. And I'm not sure why they say that. They're like, you have to go to the Holy Land of Israel and touch some rock.
Yeah. Then they go and they find out that
what's up with that? What's up with you have to go here and touch this rock?
That Wailing Wall.
The Wailing Wall. You touch that and then you can be saved or whatever, you know. Which is what that kind of turns me a lot of off a lot of the things that the Christians believe in, the traditional Christians, But nowadays, who is a actual Christian who is sinless? Everybody commits sin.
Yeah.
Do you think that if you think bad thoughts, you think that's also a sin as well? Whenever you think something quote unquote evil against somebody, or you hate somebody, or I don't know, do you hate anybody, or do you just strongly dislike, or do you love everybody like how God says you should? Love thy enemy, love thy neighbor.
I'm kind of there, like I love everybody, like because even them, like most people would say, the people that deserve to be killed more than anybody else are these evil, I call them mass murdering satanic pedophile cult members, right?
Right.
That's exactly what they do. They're part of the Kabbalah. They call us goyim, right? They hate us.
Mm-hmm.
They openly discriminate. They see themselves as a superior race, and I mean, with all the evilness that they commit, all the pedophilia, all the pornography, all the just smut, nasty, disgusting. I mean, I still don't think they should die. Like, I still don't want to kill them.
Right.
I still kind of be like, man, if there's a way we can round them up, put them in a place, and just give them food and monitor them. And
it was called. Somebody tried that already.
Right?
I think somebody tried to round them all up and put them in one camp. It didn't work out
it didn't
too
work out too well, right?
No, it did not work out too well.
Right. Oh man.
And then you go down in history as one of the most evil people ever.
Yeah.
But whenever you start more reading into
it's starting to, he's, and it's funny because JFK had a powerful quote about, two powerful quotes about Adolf Hitler. And one was, one day Hitler's going to emerge from the hatred that surrounds him and become one of the most public figures to ever live. And the other quote was, that he had in him stuff in which legends are made.
It's crazy because whenever you are young, you are literally programmed and indoctrinated.
You're bombarded with the propaganda.
Propaganda, and you just basically learn what they teach you. Especially, if you go to public school. They all have an agenda. They want to control the masses. They want to poison young minds. They want to make them essentially slaves to the system, where they just have to work and pay taxes, and that's it, and obey.
Exactly.
Just obey whatever they're told. And a lot of that stuff goes into our subconscious. Whenever we grow up, we start realizing, if you really pursue it, because I don't think if I've ever actually gave it the time of day and went down these rabbit holes, and I've actually pursued it, I would have just been like everybody else.
Just
you know what I mean?
Going along with it, and they're right.
So can you really give people who are not quote unquote? Do you consider yourself a conspiracy theorist? And what do you think of that term? And what do you what do you really call yourself? Just a thinker?
Just personally, I hate labels. Because I think it's all just
right.
I mean, it's just it's another form of seperating everybody. Oh, you're in this camp, I'm in this one. It's,
correct.
Obviously, I use it because I know everybody else is just too indoctrinated into that separation of labels, labelism,
that ideology.
That ideology of, oh well, you're conspiracy theories, you're crazy. Like,
right.
Then I'm a conspiracy theorist. If you want to call me that, I am. If you want to call me an anti-Semite, fine. If whatever helps you sleep at night.
You don't give a shit.
Feel better about yourself.
You really don't give a shit.
I consider myself a person, a human being. Just like everybody else. But which is another topic of we're going to talk about these protesters and
Yes.
that's going on right now about, illegal, not illegal, Mexican, American. Like, to me, it's all labels at the end of the day. Like, we're all human beings. There's good people, there's bad people, and they come from all over the world. And not just that, because I mean, none of us chose where we were going to be born, who our parents were going to be.
That's true. That's true.
Nobody.
That is true.
We didn't get to choose how much melanin in our skin we were going to have.
That is true.
I mean, this is just the cards we were dealt.
Well, see, but at the same time, so what is your stance on the mass deportations? What do you feel about the mass deportations?
I'm all for the criminals. Get them out of here. Sure, fine.
But if they're illegals, they're all criminals.
But that's where I kind of I
disagree.
Disagree a little bit, just
because they broke the law coming into the country.
But let's be honest, the vast majority of them are only here to work hard.
Correct.
Because I'm a product of that. My father came over here not knowing the language, lived in an abandoned house for a few months, had a job, right? Worked. Now he's a business owner.
Legally.
But he came. Now he's good. Yeah,
he came legally though.
I think he came illegally. Yeah, he crossed the border.
He came illegally.
I'm not even sure how he came, but he came back in the mid '80s, and but I mean he's a good person. Like, he's never done anything wrong.
The problem I have with that is that if you want to give everybody in the world the pass, say, because everybody that comes from third world countries has that as an excuse.
Yeah.
You can say that, you can allow everybody, you can allow 1 billion people, people from India, people from Africa, people from China. So I think I'm all for legal immigration.
Yeah.
But I am for deporting everybody who is illegal. Because number one, they broke the law. You have to have some type of law and order. You have to have some type of protocols for these people that are crossing the border. We have to do a better job of who's coming in, who's coming out. Because if you're not keeping up with who's coming in and out of your own house, you're not going to be able to run a functional society. You're not going to have. And by the way, guys, I'm against paying taxes. Let me get that clear. But it's not fair that we have to pay taxes and other people who come in illegally reap the benefits of our nation.
Well, here's a funny statistic that most Americans believe that most illegals don't pay taxes, but they do.
Like, some of them do. Well, not all of them.
I think the vast majority do. Well,
you have 11 million illegal immigrants.
Especially if
when they go to the store and buy stuff, they pay sales taxes. That's it. You can't, and they don't pay no federal income tax. That's what I mean. Because you can't pay that without a social security number.
Well, here's the thing. They don't need a social security. There's what they call a TIN number, a TIN number, which is a
tax ID.
Yeah, tax ID, which my father and all my uncles and the ones that were illegal, as soon as they came here and started working, they got one because they went to the consulate in Mexico.
Right.
So they can pay taxes.
Right.
And which actually helps immigrants to the process of getting their documents a lot quicker, because it shows a history of, you've been here, you've been working, you've been paying your taxes like everybody, like every other American. The only difference is this piece of paper that says that you're not legal, but you're doing everything else that every other American is doing.
Right.
And there's only a small percentage of them that don't. Right. They don't get the number.
Yes.
They're over here actually they're scamming the system basically. And of course, there is a problem.
Whenever you have those types of people, they ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, they ruin it for everybody.
Ruin it for everybody.
And it's always a small percentage of them that ruin it for the vast majority.
There is a gray area in there. There is definitely a gray area.
Yeah.
But either you have to draw a line in the sand, literally. You know what I mean? Which it is a imaginary line in the sand. Literally.
It's crazy, right?
It literally is, right? But this land was conquered by the Europeans.
Yeah.
And
this is another, because I went heavily into that when the Europeans first came over, because what do they say about the natives, right? My ancestors, they're savages, they're crazy people.
Yes.
None of that was true. That was all propaganda made up. Because if you read Christopher Columbus's personal journal, because he writes about when he first met the natives and what he said about them. I actually have it here. Completely contradicts everything that I remember being taught in school too. Like, they sacrifice people. this and that, and it's none of it was true. That's what the Jews do. They sacrifice. They the child sacrifice to Moloch. Their organ harvesting. Their human hunting parties. But this is what Christopher Columbus wrote when he first came. He's like, they are simple and honest, and exceedingly honest with whatever they have. None of them refusing anything they possess when he is asked for it. They exhibit great love towards all others in preference to themselves. They are the best people in the world, and above all are the gentlest without knowledge of what evil is. Like these people are so good, they don't even know what evil is. Nor do they murder or steal. They love their neighbor as themselves, and they have the sweetest thoughts in the world, always laughing. And he ends it with this. They would make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want. And this is an excerpt from Christopher Columbus's personal journal from when he first came over here, talking about the natives. So
let me play this one video. Thank you, Brian Alvarez, for the like, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me play this one video. It says 1 man versus 100 protesters, and I'll be right back.
I can be here, sir. I leave. Nope. I'm here.
I actually haven't seen this video yet.
I'm all right.
But these are the kind of people and a lot of these people are...
And they're white.
Yeah.
White on white.
Yes.
Well, it's like just the white liberals fighting for people.
You're in the public. You're shoving a camera in my face.
I don't agree with these protests, because like we were talking about earlier off camera, they don't actually accomplish anything. They don't accomplish anything,
they just
right?
Make more noise and cause more division.
And the problem I have with the Mexicans saying "Viva Mexico," but we're trying to send them back to Mexico, but they don't want to go. But they're saying "Viva Mexico," fuck America. They're burning American flags, and that's what I have a problem with. That's what I mean. They ruin it. W. Columbus, but the natives we got now was not the natives Christopher Columbus encountered. Well, how long does somebody have to be there to become a native? You know what I mean? Because the Native Americans, they definitely did slaughter and kill each other in a tribal thing. Whenever they were battling over land, over tribes, they definitely were. They killed each other, they raped each other, they, slaughtered each other's villages in order to take over. So there was a lot of savagery back then in general, though. Not just saying just the natives. It was the Europeans. The Africans did to themselves. The Africans sold the slaves to the Europeans through the transatlantic slave trade, which the Jews actually helped.
We're at the helm of that.
They were at the helm of that as well. So I don't think that any particular race, the Chinese, I don't think that any particular race was all saints and all like how Christopher Columbus was saying. Even the Chinese, they built the Great Wall against the Mongolians. The Mongolians were trying to invade China all the fucking time. They had wars all the time back then. So the problem I have with these illegal aliens in the country is that we don't know what they are capable of. We don't know where they're at. Like I said, they're not paying their fair share. They're reaping the benefits of the government, our taxpayer dollars. We're wasting a lot of money. I think New York spent $90 billion on them just last year, putting them in high-rise hotels, apartment complexes, getting them food stamps, food cards, cell phones, all kinds of crazy stuff. And this is because they want to keep the illegals here to have cheap labor and to also get the Democratic vote. Because in some of these fucking states, you are not required to show ID whenever you vote. So a lot of illegal immigrants are saying, okay, true? Yes, in
That's
California.
Crazy. I mean, I don't vote anyway, so.
Yeah. In California, if you try to show them your ID, it's like showing a vampire a cross. They're like, oh, no, don't show me that.
Right.
You trying to show me an ID? Are you crazy? This is California. You don't need a fucking ID.
It could be like that scene off of.
Anybody can go and vote for anybody whenever they want. That's absolutely, it's amazing.
Yeah. It'd be like that scene from the Benchwarmers where it's just a piece of paper and it says, I am
Yes.
12, and he has a picture of himself.
Exactly. It's just like
some
that.
bullshit.
The same thing. Exactly. It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. So as far as these, you know, the illegal protest goes and stuff like that, and also they are being funded by the Democrats.
Yeah.
They are being funded to incite, start a riot. They were dropping off riot gear to them, N95 masks, so they can breathe through the tear gas. All kinds of craziness.
Yeah, and I mean,
really
I can get some of the gripes and some of the the unflattering natures of what I mean. Again, a small percentage, because it's not all the people. You know,
No.
you can't
And
put
it
them all
sucks.
together in the same box.
Of course, it sucks. I went to school with a lot of people who I didn't even know were illegal. They were my friends. I treated them like anybody.
Yeah,
And
which is what you should do.
I'm not one to call ICE on somebody.
Yeah,
I'm not one to
unless
try to get
they're
somebody
actually doing something terrible.
Of course,
right? Yeah.
of course. My friends, a lot of my friends' dads got deported, who were in the country, raised them, and I guess they tried to have them as anchor babies. You know what an anchor baby is?
Yeah.
So I guess that only applies to the mom.
Yeah,
Because when the mom who gave birth, but it's crazy. These women that were crossing the border 7, 8, 9 months pregnant, and they're having the baby as soon as they cross, and they all and the baby is supposed to get birthright citizenship. What Trump said, the birthright citizenship is not made for that. It's for it was intended for the descendants of slaves. If they were slaves and they were born in America, then they get automatic citizenship because they were naturalized here. They were born here. Their parents, their grandparents were born and raised here. You know what I mean? So I don't agree just because you're born here. If your parents came across the border, now you have to give them a choice. Go back home either with your family or leave the kid. If the kid was born here, leave the kid and let it be raised as an American. But if it's already raised here 4, 5, 6 years, it's humane to leave them here. They're already American.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They grew up with our customs. They grew up in our society. To me, it's inhumane to deport the babies who were already been living here for several years. But if the baby is just a baby and the parents snuck in here illegally, what kind of example? Thank you, Raina. What's up, Raina? Hey now.
Hey now.
What's going on, Raina? How you doing tonight?
Hey now.
If you are if you broke into the country, then you're already setting a bad example. You know what I mean? And the reason how come if immigrants, and I'm not talking about just Mexicans. I'm half Mexican American too. My great grandparents were from Mexico as well. So I have a little bit of skin in the game, right? And my father is an immigrant. He moved here from Nicaragua, but he did it the complete legal way through paperwork and all the whole due process.
Yeah.
People are saying they need due process.
But think about that. The due process and again, that sometimes that process it's very stingent and long.
Streaming, we're good. We can continue where we left off. Sorry about that delay, guys. We're having some technical difficulties. You know, I try to do. You know, I'm doing everything myself. Producer, podcaster, all this shit like that.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, I gotta.
He doesn't have a Jamie to.
Yeah, I don't have a young. I don't have a producer here to help me out, and you know, sometimes shit happens. I can't control, just like, you know, we can't control the weather. Somebody else controls the weather for us.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're back live now, guys. Sorry about that.
Hey now.
Well, picking up where we left off, what were you were getting ready to make a point, and I forgot. I'm sorry, because I was thinking about all this bullshit. We're trying to reestablish connection. We're back here. We got 6 viewers back. Thank you guys for coming back. Appreciate you guys.
Hey now.
You were getting ready to make a point, an interesting point, and I cut you off whenever our stream cut off. Do you remember what you were?
Well, basically, I just wanted to say was because I don't want to harp on this for too long because it's going to be one of those never-ending debates and talks. But
and we can always agree to disagree.
Yeah, of course. But all I'm gonna say is, on both sides, we should have more grace because at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we all want to live happily. Of course, you know the bad people, they're the actual criminals that are coming over here and committing actual heinous crimes. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Get them out of here, man, for real.
Yeah.
But as far as for the rest of us, just have more grace with each other, because again, we're only here for a limited amount of time, and it's a waste of time spending it hating each other and dividing each other more and fighting each other when we have actual enemies that we need to unite against, who are controlling and
that is true,
pulling the strings. And,
that is true. Absolutely true.
Especially our creator would be very disappointed if we spend most of our time,
dude,
fighting and bickering over something that really shouldn't be dividing us so much.
Somebody posted the other day, and they said they try to make a post about no Kings Days tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what that is a protest to go down to City Hall and protest against Donald Trump and all the mass deportations. And then I made her feel so stupid, she took the post down. Because there's no logic behind that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's no logic in protesting. What are you going to accomplish? You're not going to win.
Yeah.
Law is a law. It's set in stone for a reason. You don't like it, you can definitely move it to another country or go back to your country if you're from another country. That's the way I feel. That's the way I see it, guys. But it's going to be a never ending, like you said, it's going to be a never ending. Actually, Governor Greg DeSantis, we have this clip from, Ron DeSantis. I said Greg DeSantis. Ron DeSantis actually has this to say. If you go in the street, you're going to get ran over.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you,
I agree with
you
this.
have a right to flee for your safety.
Yep.
And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck
and get your
let the
car
mob grab
all
you
beat
out of your
up
car
and you
drag
get
you through the
assaulted.
streets.
Yeah.
You have a right to defend yourself.
Drag them through the streets. If they want to hang on to your vehicle, yes, do this. Run their ass over. Why are you? I'm all for peaceful. Hey now, what my boy Rick?
Hey now.
What's up, my boy Rick? How you doing in the chat on X?
Hey now.
I'm all for peaceful protests.
Yeah.
And when I
This
say
is retarded.
and when I say all for, I mean I'm not for it, meaning I don't think you should be protesting against this certain cause because I think it's stupid for you to want to do that. But I am all for using your First Amendment right.
You got a right to do it.
You have a right to do that. And it's crazy. Caroline Levitt actually was asked a stupid question, and she put this reporter on blast because this reporter asked a stupid question.
So if there were peaceful protests on Saturday for the military parade, President Trump would allow that?
Of course the president supports peaceful protests. What a stupid question. Raquel.
Thank you so much.
She said, if there were peaceful protests, would the president allow? Well, no shit, Sherlock. What are we supposed to say? No, we don't support peaceful protest. Like, what are you, stupid? Look at this fucking moron from, of course, California. And I actually have an article on this idiot who got thrown out. Senator Padilla removed during Christine Noem's LA press conference. California Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed and handcuffed by federal agents during a news conference in Los Angeles, where he attempted to question Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem about immigration policies. The incident occurred amidst ongoing protests against President Donald Trump's immigration policies. Video evidence shows the removal process, contradicting some claims that Padilla did not identify himself that he lunged at the secretary. Look at this fucking idiot moron getting detained. And how stupid do you look? Look at this idiot.
Hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla.
Get him out of here. Throw him out.
Because the fact of the matter
He's actually resisting. He's actually fighting. Get your ass out of here, fuck boy. That's what you get.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary. Because the fact
This guy's struggling, but he's, a little short, stocky guy.
that you're rotating on your
Throw his ass out of here. So embarrassing too, right? Like, how stupid do you look? And I don't care what nobody says, dude. These people who are in the streets, they are fake caring about illegal immigrants. Because Even if I was the product of an illegal immigrant and my father got deported, you would not see me in the streets burning American flags, setting cars on fire. And you know what else they're doing? They're fucking looting. They are looting Apple stores and all kinds of other stores in California. It's absolutely amazing. They're justifying their looting with the protest. And you see what's happening right here. The White House just posted this. Does this look like a state that you want to live? Is this peaceful protesting to you? Throwing the American flag, burning cars, blocking traffic, smashing windows. That is attempted murder. Throwing bricks at a moving vehicle with the windshield. That is attempted murder.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
Throwing fireworks, getting all their horses spooked out of control. It's amazing. And the CNN, the fake news, of course, is saying that everybody's just peaceful protesting. It's just peaceful protest. You know, the Democrats are always going to keep saying that this is all okay.
And that's funny though. Sam Tripoli
predicting LA riots 2 years ago with an eerie accuracy.
Because it is by design, getting people riled up like this and against each other. Because I mean, there's been mass deportations all the time.
I showed this the other
presidency. I mean, Barack Obama deported 2-3 million illegals.
But I'm glad you brought that up. Barack Obama deported more people in history.
But just because it wasn't
even
all
more
over the
than Donald
news,
Trump,
then people weren't really outraged, or there wasn't, this much protests. And,
I showed this the other day, the Illuminati card game.
But it goes to show you the power of the media, of just how much.
This is the upheaval card on the Illuminati card game.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see right here, they are smashing the cops with the riot gear. This is what's going on. They're spitting on them. And there's another one where they have riots. Of course, they have a lot of crazy stuff. Charismatic leader, that could be Trump.
Yeah, because it kind of shows you how it's all by design. So it's
the riots, the upheaval, and counter-revolution.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have all kinds of stuff. The terrorist nuke, that was the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
If do your research on this. The plague of demons. They have the vaccine.
They have the flat Earth one, which is my
the flat Earth one. The flat Earth one is crazy.
Yeah.
The flat Earth one is crazy. But there was another one that I was trying to show that I showed the other day, about the riots going on. Illuminati card game, riots card. They had one that specifically said riots on there. And sabotage. I think this was the one. Sabotage. Yeah. They're smashing cars, smashing into businesses, and they're trying to justify it. And yeah, they do have a flat Earth one. Absolutely. Because they know that the flat Earth thing is real. They have one about about some type of disease, like a virus.
Yeah.
Coronavirus. We know that was fucking. What did Sam Tripoli have to say predicting these riots 2 years ago?
We're in the Bolshevik war right now, bro. And right now, what's coming up is all the pride stuff is going to be okay. So I had this woman come on my podcast.
Rick says, "LA is cooked. Fuck LA. Mass deportations was the #1 topic last election. It's what America voted for." Absolutely, absolutely. I'm all for the mass deportations of getting the illegals out of here and getting them back the legal way. But there's people already waiting in line. And there has to be a better way of getting more immigrants into this country legally. That way, because we are going to see prices skyrocket. Not necessarily skyrocket. We're going to see prices increase and everything. But they say we wanted to keep slavery because we have cheap labor. We want to keep the Hispanics because we have cheap labor. That's what they do. And I believe that every company who employs illegal immigrants should also get reprimanded and have to pay some type of fine.
Name's Mel K. She goes, I've been talking to some people in the intelligence, and they go, this gay pride stuff is going away. And the next thing you're going to see are immigration riots. This is going to be right around the next election. So hand to God, we do this episode. Next day, Starbucks is like, we're banning all the pride stuff. And now you start seeing these they're putting little breadcrumbs out, man. Little breadcrumbs. Oh, I saw this one thing in Chicago. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, illegal immigrants are upset about where they're staying. And these illegal immigrants who speak no English are holding up perfectly written English signs saying we're tired of how we're being treated. And now you're starting to see this over and over again. Eric, so everyone's always like when all these Republican governors are like sending these immigrants all over the country.
Dumbasses.
Everyone's
Setting themselves on
you're
fire.
showing those Democrats. Bro, they're moving assets. I know it sounds crazy, but that is 100
What do you mean they're
moving?
moving assets? What do you mean?
Dude, these guys coming into the country, bro, have you seen them? A lot of them are Chinese, and a lot of them are military-age
Russian,
people.
too.
And I'm telling you, they're moving, and this is what's going to be right around 2024 election. Immigration riots, people going nuts, and
He's not wrong.
listen
He's
to
not
this,
wrong.
And you'll start seeing all. the
Trillion
little
says flat
breadcrumbs.
Earth.
I'm telling
Yes,
you,
flat
that's
Earth
what
is
I want
real.
you to think.
You're buying it.
Oh, I thought
They're
I was no, you're the
moving
puppet.
assets, bro.
It gets written
They're
off
moving
as a
assets.
joke, but
Military people?
Dude,
man.
study the Bolshevik War. It is happening in
Bolshevik
real
Revolution?
time. 100%.
But
I just wanted to get that out to everybody.
yeah, I have a lot of people telling me, well, whenever you like, okay, here's another thing right here of them looting an Apple store, looted. Guys, we gotta protest the fucking deportations. We're gonna steal all these fucking iPhones and iPads.
Yeah.
That's a way to protest. That's a good way to protest. Yeah, we definitely want to keep these people in the country because they
But I
are.
promise you, most of these probably aren't even Mexican. They're
No, there are probably a lot of blacks.
yeah.
Probably a lot of blacks in
Yeah, I
there.
saw like this guy. He looked Asian. His eyes looked.
Asians, a lot of Asians.
Yeah, that's a black guy.
Yeah, this is definitely a peaceful protest right here, guys.
But this is
And-
what happens with every protest, right? With what's his name? The dude that got the police on his neck.
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Yes.
Same thing. I mean, it happens every single time one of these things are just.
This is breaking news today. Go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh no. One of these things are completely like overblown in the media. It's just to rile people up, and of course they have their agents to go out there and like I think when the George Floyd thing happened, I mean they had federal agents dressed up as civilians, smashing windows and graffitiing. And doing all types of. So
absolutely.
It's all. Of course, I don't condone any of it. I would highly advise people to stop protesting, go to your homes. Stop falling for this bullshit because it's only going to cause more just violence and unnecessary, hurt to just innocent people that are just out there trying to go to their actual jobs and live their lives, and they can't because you're out there doing dumb shit. So yeah, it's unfortunate, and we have bigger things on like World War III damn near popping off. I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah, we talked about on the other stream.
Yeah.
Iran and Israel.
And Israel are getting into it, and who knows how much that's going to escalate and what that's going to turn into. Because
and by the way, the stocks. Sorry to cut you off. The stocks are going down. Oil prices are going up because of the Iran shit.
yeah, and then you also had what was it? India and who were they fighting against not so long ago? They were
Oh
about
yes.
to get into it.
Was it Afghanistan or was it
Oh, it was India and Pakistan. No,
Pakistan, India, and Pakistan. They were they were
coming close to going to blows.
Yep.
So it's. I mean, we're inching closer to World War III. So I mean, I think that should take more precedence than anything else going on.
And we've also we've always had a special interest in the Middle East for some reason.
Yeah.
I know they have.
Well, they had that plan that 5-year plan. It's stretched much longer than that now, but they wanted to go into Iraq, to Afghanistan, Lebanon, Libya.
Yep.
I mean, Iran's the last one in that.
Oh,
plan
Israel wants to take over the entire
they
Middle
want
East.
to take the entire Middle East.
And Israel was completely bought and paid for by the Rothschilds.
Yeah, I mean,
they basically bought the country of Israel, made it. God bless Israel.
Hey now.
Dropping a clues bomb for my boy Rick. Hey now, my boy Rick.
Hey now.
And I'm all for it.
Fuck yeah.
I don't have that sneaky Jew music. I don't have that stinky Jew. Let me see if I can find
the
Jew music. Because there is a fucking theme.
The anthem. The
yes.
Jew anthem that everybody plays. Oh, that's a good one. The Borat, throw the Jew down the well.
Oh, this is hilarious.
I fucking love that.
I might get copyrighted.
In my country, there is a problem.
Throw the Jew down the well.
It's funny how he gets them all to sing along to it at the end.
There is problem, and that problem is transport. It takes very, very long because Kazakhstan is big.
Kazakhstan is big. It's kind of retarded.
So my country can be free. So my country can be free. We must make travel easy. Then we have a big party. In my country there is problem, and that problem is the Jew.
The Jew. My problem is the Jew.
They take everybody money. They never give it back.
I don't want to get copyrighted.
Throw the Jew down the well. So my country can be free. You must grab him by his horns.
Grab him by his horns.
Then we have a big party.
That is amazing. No, but I don't have that.
About that, Jim.
I don't have that. I don't have that music. I need to get that as a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Now it says tomorrow on June 14th, there are 2 notable parades scheduled based on available information. The U.S.'s Army 250th birthday parade in Washington, D.C. So they're going to have this big parade going on tomorrow, and that's whenever they plan on having the No Kings protest, where they protesting Donald Trump and protesting the deportations. They didn't care whenever Barack Obama was doing it, but whenever Trump's doing it because he's a Republican, now everybody wants to jump ship.
Yeah.
A large-scale military parade celebrating the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, founded on June the 14th, 1775. It coincides with President Donald Trump's 79th birthday and Flag Day, though officials emphasize it's not a political. He's 79, almost 80 years old, the oldest elected president, I believe, in U.S. history, featuring approximately 6,600 soldiers, 150 military vehicles, weather concerns, 60% chance of rain, and a Chicago parade, Puerto Rican People Day parade. It's going to happen in Chicago. A parade in Chicago, likely the Puerto Rican People's Day Parade, part of the city's cultural celebrations. So if you're in Chicago, they are going to be celebrating the Puerto Ricans, which Puerto Rican, that's what I'm saying. Make Israel, if you want to make it one of its
territories,
U.S. territories, like Puerto Rico or Cuba, right? Isn't Cuba one of the, not Cuba, it's Puerto Rico, and I believe Cuba has a deal with the United States as well.
Yeah, now they do, yeah.
Yeah, they do, right?
I mean, they've been having it for a while, ever since they put Castro in, but...
Yeah. Throw the Jew down the well.
It's catchy,
That's
huh?
amazing. Yeah, it's very catchy right there. Amazing. I had this one clip of this guy, and I'm not sure even know who he is. He talks about a lot of the conspiracies that we like to talk about. I'm going to play a little bit of what he says. He talks about chemtrails and about how they have everything encrypted in our DNA, or have us encrypted.
Tomato, potato, asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, almost all the basics are purposely. And as you know, they have a terminator.
Bioengineered.
Yes. Because the farmers can't plant seed, you can't plant seed now unless you buy it from the government. They come up one season and they're gone, which means they're already modified. Watermelons down here.
Genetically modified seedless watermelons.
A watermelon with no seeds out. But if you breathe, what are you going to breathe? You can't call it air anymore. We breathe something that is overtaxing our body with toxins that we're trying to get through the day on. Yeah. We have chemical sprays being sprayed over 245 major cities in the United States, and all over our planet now is an electronic metal smog. And I can tell you why that's done too. We have these Gwen towers that they have erected, which are also perpetrating that continuing thing. We have HAARP programs, High Frequency Active Aurora Research Project. We have ELATA over in Russia, Electrified Atmospheric Discharge. We have ISACAT, European Scattered Radar manipulation. All these things are broadcasting billions, I didn't say millions, combined billions of watts of amperage of ionic electrified air particles into the air. We are breathing now titanium, aluminum, barium, non-human T cells, all kind of other things is being sprayed from ships that aren't supposed to be there. So you have metal particulation in your system. You have electrified air, which is poisonous in your system. And then whatever else that the smokestacks and the exhaust from cars are there too. Unless you can clean that out, your body's not only going to age very quickly, the cells are going to deteriorate, and you're not going to function on your heights you should be. That's why most people are running around I call them comatose, dumbed down, brainwashed, vaccinated, inoculated, and encrypted. Any two of which makes you unusable to a society that's trying to develop.
Yeah, they use a bunch of chemicals, and you know about the chemtrails.
Yeah, and they call them aerosol injections.
What does that mean? Yeah. Aerosol injections.
It's what the military. It's basically chemtrails because of the conspiracy theory. We call them chemtrails, but the actual terminology that they use is when they finally admitted it. I think the CIA director or I forget his name, several years ago came out and said, and he finally admitted it. Yeah, we are spraying stuff into the air, and they call them aerosol injections. And that's pretty much the same term for chemtrails. It's just the more
technical term to make it sound better. Yeah, make it sound better.
They kind of say it's to block the sun rays, but it's
and these sites like 23andMe, which there's I have a clip of Senator Josh Hawley grilling the CEO of 23andMe about how they're selling your information. Whenever you send your information to 23andMe, your DNA, your spit, your hair, your blood, whatever they ask you for, right? You say it because you want to learn your ancestry, right? An innocent inquisition that you want to learn. You want to learn about your ancestry. Who wouldn't want to learn where their ancestors come from? You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we all have ancestors from different countries living in this country,
at this
right?
point now, yeah.
Of course.
Everybody's a mixed mutt.
So what happens whenever those companies sell your DNA to somebody else? They're going to come up with some vaccines to make you specifically sick.
Sicker, yeah.
They're going to come up with some type of technology if they want to clone you. You know what I mean? If they want to, and guys, we know that they're spying on us through smartphones, through our own television sets have cameras in them, Ring cameras, the NSA. It's one of the Illuminati card games cards. The NSA is definitely spying on you all the time.
Yeah, we've been knowing that since Edward Snowden dropped the bomb on that and let us all know, yeah, you're being spied on and everything.
The NSA card right here, spying on you. And these people, whatever happened to this card? No such agency. It doesn't exist. Just ask them. So this is the NSA. They're spying on you. Look, watching this guy and this woman have sex because they're fucking perverts.
Yeah, and I think it's funny. South Park had a funny episode about that of like the TVs and the Ring cameras watching you, and they just showed a big fat guy going through everybody's. He's just jerking off. So like everybody's just flipping through.
South Park knows everything too, and so do the Simpsons. So much, the Simpsons, they predict everything.
Yeah, well, that's because Matt Groening is a 33rd degree Freemason, so he's in the club, and he was able to put a lot of stuff that he already knew into the. That's what they do. They put all the stuff that they know into their TV shows or movies or whatever the case. So that's why a lot of people think, oh, is he a time traveler? No, Matt Groening is just a.
He knows the script.
He's in the club
because the world is a stage. It's just a huge world stage. It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah.
It's like the Truman Show. We have predictive programming that they want to. Whenever you watch a television program, they are programming you. They're not showing you a program. They're programming you in your brain and your subconscious.
The prophecy of which is to come, so that you can go along with it. So that when it comes and it's happening, you're like, oh well, you almost let it happen because you're expecting it.
Exactly.
Instead of like, hey, there's something wrong. We should all stop this. And
you see all these apocalyptic movies, and didn't Barack Obama direct or something? One of these movies that was talking about the end of the world, and all this technology was like hacked by AI or something like that. Yeah. And by the way, that's
pretty much what the Terminator, Skynet.
Yes, Skynet.
That. So.
That's another thing that these riots are trying to hide behind. These riots are a way because Trump and his big, beautiful bill, which I don't agree with the big, beautiful bill. Not everything in it. A lot of things in it, I agree with. This thing in it is he's trying to override the state's ruling for AI. So basically, the states have no say-so and whether the government wants to use AI to spy on you.
Yeah.
What they want to justify it as is that they're trying to say we're trying to catch domestic and foreign terrorists.
Which I'm sure they're already doing with ChatGPT and everything else. So it's like everything else. Yeah.
But this is federally going to be signed into law. They're going to use AI, and it's supposed to last for 10 years. And guys, we already know AI is getting out of control. You see it nowadays. So now we don't know what it's going to be in 1 year, 5 years, much less 10 years.
Yeah, we might not even be here in 10 years for all we know.
And I use AI for my little bullshit, little bullshit here and there. But they're going to use AI to spy on you, to control you, to make you do what they want you to do.
And that's another thing that's crazy that especially you need to be more careful with and more conscious of also that other bill. I don't know if it's attached to the same one you're talking about the anti-Semitism stuff, about anybody talking about Israel. They're going to start making a database and getting people's information, and they're going to be on a watch list.
Me and you. What do you mean?
Yeah, me and you.
You post a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but you a little more because you got a podcast.
I have a podcast, yes. But they're going to say, okay, he's messaging this guy on Instagram.
Yeah. And they're, it's like what they did with Nick Fuentes. They can shut off our bank accounts. They're going to be able to just start doing it, just blacklisting us off everything. Just not to be able to be on social media, not to be able to make any money anymore or anything. And then before you know it, jail time just for even saying anything about the Jews or anything like that, so it's gonna get a little hairy. From the looks of it, it's gonna get pretty hairy in the next few years. So
a few years ago, I was what they call quote unquote red pilled.
Yeah, red pilled.
Which conservative Christian, which is basically
what they say people on the right are.
Yeah, the people on the right, the Republicans, conservative, which is what I want to do. I want to conserve our country. I don't want us to go and allow men and women sports.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Because I don't think that there is such thing as a transgender person. There's no such thing as a man can get a sex surgery done and get his balls cut off and his dick cut off, right? That doesn't make him a woman.
Oh no!
Every cell in his body is still gonna be a man. He's still gonna have.
It's like that saying. There's no such thing as chicks with dicks, just dudes with tits.
Exactly.
So
every cell in his body is still gonna say XY chromosome.
Yeah. They never be able to change their biology officially. I mean, it's just they can chop it off, put a fake vagina on. It makes no difference.
So transgenders are not real.
Yeah, no. It's all delusion. To me, it's all mental illness.
Of course.
It's all delusional mental.
They have gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
They have mental illness.
It's more mental illness for sure.
And
they some people it's just like that Leah Thompson guy, right? The swimmer.
Yes.
The guy that, I mean, he just sucked as a guy, and he wanted to be good, so he just I'm a woman now, and all of a sudden he's beating the shit out of all these women.
I actually have a video, and I don't know if I can find it. I saved it. I think I liked it. And it was a trans right here. Yeah. Check this out. This guy is a fag. This guy's a straight up faggot. And hang on, my robot chat. And this guy's a straight up fag. And he actually is making sense. Okay? I wish everybody can be like this. Not everybody. I mean, I wish all the trans queers can be like this. They're fucking but I wish everybody can think like this dude right here.
Okay, try to keep up. I am a 47-year-old biological man. I am been on hormones for a year, a little over a year. I just had my boobs done. I've had one facial surgery. I am not going to have bottom surgery. I'm going to do one more face surgery on the bottom of my chin. I am transitioning to look as much like a female as I can. That's the way I've wanted to be my whole life. I understand that I cannot ever be a biological female. For those of you people that cannot define what a female is, realize that you're part of the problem, okay? A female is someone who was born a female with X chromosomes and can have babies and can give birth and so on and so forth. For the idiots out there that say that some men can have babies because they're trans men, well, that's because they're a biological woman.
Yes.
So let's stop all the nonsense and stop all the bullshit.
So you're telling me that they're not all delusional? Why can't they all be like that? That was normal to me. I have no problems there whatsoever. Common sense.
Common sense, yeah. Common sense is not common nowadays, though.
Oh no, yeah.
And his shirt says, "Stop normalizing obesity." And I agree, because women, you know, on the dating site, it's what is it? Is it Tinder?
Tinder.
On the Tinder dating site now, women have a choice. You know how they filter certain stuff? Now they can filter in height on a man.
Oh yeah.
So you know how women are real in particular about height on a man? So, but how come the men don't get a filter for weight?
For weight, yeah.
On a woman, right? It makes sense, because a woman, if they see a guy who's 5'4", 5'5", who's a short king, right?
Yeah.
What you call a short king. They don't want to be no part of that, right? They don't want to, even though they're a great match, they will click,
Could
they
be
will
the perfect
bump.
guy for them for all they know. And
Exactly. Could be the perfect
too
guy.
short.
Oh, too short.
Can't do it.
But the thing is, he has no control
over it, and they have control over their weight. So.
They exactly. They have 100% control over their weight.
And I mean, sure, the guy can get that leg extended surgery to get taller, gain a few inches. But I mean, that's just,
that's not even natural.
I mean, it's too expensive.
Weight is 100% a choice.
Yeah.
If you're fat, you're choosing to be fat.
You're choosing to be fat. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you have 100% control over everything that goes inside your body and your mouth. So.
And people say, "Oh, I have a
my thyroid is
thyroid." That's the thing. I have a thyroid issue. Give me a fucking break. The thyroid is making you stuff down 12 Twinkies a day and drink a bunch of Dr. Pepper all fucking day.
And the reason your thyroid's acting up is because you can't stop fucking eating like a fucking.
That's probably why.
That's why. Yeah, it's exactly why.
That's why. So
you're doing it to yourself.
You're blaming it on your thyroid, but the reason why you have the thyroid issue is because you're stuffing your face.
It all begins with your personal choice.
Exactly. It's your personal choice. Yes.
Yeah. But, people are too sensitive and soft to take accountability these days, so they're going to blame it on everything else except for themselves.
I have this interesting clip that you sent me about the presidents all being related.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I'm going to show this clip first, and then I'm going to show your clip, the one you sent. Well, actually, I'm going to show your clip first.
And I think they even talk about the girl.
They do? Okay.
I think they bring it
every
up,
single president in U.S. history is related to one king.
What? What are you talking about?
This is where it gets crazy. This man, Harold Brooks Baker, he did all this study on U.S. presidents and royal lineage. He had this theory that the presidents weren't voted in by the people, but they were actually selected based on royal bloodline. So 13 or so years ago, this 12-year-old girl, for her 7th grade project, with the help of her grandparents, went down the lineage of each president, and they all connected to one man.
Weird.
All their lineage traced back to King John from the House of Plantagenet.
How is that possible?
And there's a folklore around the House of Plantagenet that they were actually descendants from a demon.
Oh, what? That's horrible.
But that's where this dude's theory came in. He's like, it's not about who the people vote for. It's within the candidates that are running for president, who has the more direct bloodline to King John. Did you guys know that every single
King John, hang on. Let me. I messed this thing up, dude. Hang on. I messed this thing up. I try to move this window over here, but I try not to cut this guy off.
So this is mind-blowing. A 7th grader spent her summer...
That was the end of the video?
Yeah.
That was the end, right?
That was it, yeah.
It played all of it?
Yeah, that was it.
Building a presidential family tree, and she discovered that every single United States president...
A 7th grader?
with the exception of one, were all related. And all of them, every single one of them, are descendants of one.
That makes you wonder though, why? Who was that exception of one? And I know after that it was also Donald Trump was the other exception. So now it's two. This is an old video because it doesn't mention Donald Trump.
John Lackland, who signed the Magna Carta in 1215. Nobody had put this together before because most genealogists only focused on the male side of the family. But she went ahead and put together the male and female lineage of every single president and discovered that every one of them are related, except for Martin Van Buren. This is something that definitely makes you look at the big picture a little bit differently. Check this out.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, William Howard Taft, and President Barack Obama. One young girl traced them all back to one common ancestor.
They're all cousins and all grandsons of John Lackland.
It's the first family tree of its kind, pouring through more than 500,000 names for months. 12-year-old Bridget Ann D'Avignon discovered that all the U.S. presidents, except Martin Van Buren, are related to the former King of England, John Lackland.
All the presidents are related. What are the fucking chances?
Grandmother on George Washington. Obama, Mildred Reed, is the 10th great-grandmother.
She started with George Washington, but unlike other professional genealogists that only looked at the male family lines, Bridget Ann was able to link the presidents together using both male
That guy was only looking at the males.
ancestry.
The one that they showed. They didn't mention the girl, right? They didn't mention her.
Yeah.
They didn't mention her, did they?
Last video?
President
they did?
U.S.
Yeah, they brought her up
history is related to one king.
What? Talking about?
You can't
This is
fast
where it
forward.
gets crazy. This man, Harold Brooks Baker, he did all this study on U.S. presidents and royal lineage. He had this theory that the presidents weren't voted in by the people, but they were actually selected based on royal bloodline. So, 13 or so years ago, this 12-year-old girl, for her 7th grade project, with the help of her grandparents, went down the lineage of each president, and they all
diagram that she had made up for.
Okay. That is insane. What a fucking crazy fucking thing to find out, dude.
And it
Holy
just goes to show
shit.
you just how, you know.
Yeah. How fucked up everything is.
How orchestrated it all
Orchestrated it all is. Okay. I was going to show this flat earth video because we're going to get into a little bit of flat earth.
Flat earth proof you've ever come across. And trust me.
Because, guys, if you haven't went down the rabbit hole of flat earth, you need to do some research and just look into it. Because the idea that the whole entire Milky Way is going 90 million miles an hour through space, and we're circling around our sun and we're spinning and everything is working out perfectly, but we have no creator. That's total bullshit.
Yeah.
That is total bullshit. You know you have a soul inside you. Your soul is what tells you what's good and what's right and what's wrong. You have to look into this flat earth theory and trust your instincts. Trust your natural instincts that God gave you.
Your senses. And
your
everything.
senses.
It's going to make you rethink everything. You've heard all the theories about Earth being round, right? We've all seen the pictures from space, the CGI animations, the globe in classrooms. But what if all of that was just part of a larger story? What if you've been missing something right in front of your eyes this entire time? According to what we've been told, the Earth's circumference is about 24,901 miles. Okay, cool. But if that were true, there would need to be a very specific amount of curvature happening as we move across the planet. I mean, we're supposed to be on a ball, right? So naturally it should curve in every single direction, not just the one you're looking at. Think about it for a second. On a ball, no matter where you are, the ground beneath you should bend away. But when you actually look for that curvature, where is it? Now here's where it gets interesting. Instead of relying on NASA's billion-dollar equipment and fisheye lenses, what if you just took matters into your own hands? Some people have done just that, sending high-altitude balloons with regular, non-distorted lenses. And what do you see? No curve. A flat horizon as far as the eye can see. Flat, straight, level. You ever wonder why they're called airplanes and not air balls? They fly straight across the sky, never curving, to match the supposed curvature of a globe. If we were on a ball, wouldn't they need to constantly adjust their altitude? But they don't. They fly level, and don't even get me started on gravity because, let's face it, that's just a theory. After all these years, gravity still hasn't been proven. What we do know, water doesn't stick to a ball. Ever tried balancing water on a basketball? Exactly. The math is another thing that doesn't add up. There's supposed to be a curve of about 8 inches per mile squared. So why don't we ever see it? From high up, you'd expect to see a pretty clear curve, yet the horizon stays flat. That's something you can see with your own eyes.
Horizontal,
no need
horizon.
for fancy space agencies to tell you otherwise. So why the push to make us believe we're spinning on a ball through space? What's the end game here? Here's the thing. You don't have to take anyone's word for it, not even mine. Just think critically, look around you. Everything in your everyday experience shows a flat, stationary world. They've been pushing the globe model on us since we were kids, but why? Maybe it's time we start questioning that narrative. And don't feel bad if you've believed in the globe your whole life. We've all been there, myself included. But once you start doing your own research, things start making a lot more sense. Suddenly it clicks. The flat earth isn't just a theory for some fringe group. There are real, undeniable proofs right in front of us. You've just got to be willing to see them.
By the way, I made a video so many years ago. What is the explanation? And I'm saying this because I don't know. I'm not to put you on the spot or anything. I don't know because people always ask me about gravity. And people always say, how does it work if gravity is not real?
Yeah, and it was never proven real. It's just always been a theory.
It's always been a theory, for sure.
If you go back to Isaac Newton's first manuscripts, and when he first started writing about gravity, he starts everything off.
What's up,
if
guys?
gravity existed, if gravity is real, he always just goes on saying if, not saying, well, gravity is real. This is why. So and they can't prove it to be a fact. That's why it's never been a fact. It's always been a theory, like evolution, like the Big Bang Theory,
course.
like all of it, like all the rest of it.
I posted this video 8 years ago in 2017. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 8 years ago, yeah. And this says 3 facts that will make you think the earth is flat. So let me watch my own video from 8 years ago, because I've been a flat earther for over 8 years. Over 8 years. So let me show this video where I explain 3 facts that will make you think the earth is flat, will make you believe the earth is flat, because it absolutely is flat.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to share a video explaining why, in my opinion, the earth is flat, because this is just too much of a coincidence, and I really don't believe in like coincidences. So as you can see right here, if you Google the Earth's tilt, tilt is at 23.4 degrees. You take that 23.4 degrees away from a 90-degree angle, you're left with a difference of 66.6. And that's how the so-called elite like to put their signs hidden in plain sight. Also, if you ask Google how fast does the Earth revolve around the sun, you will see that it travels at 18.5 miles per second. Okay, so you take 18.5
miles per second around the sun. I forgot about this one.
18.5. Okay, we're talking seconds. Okay, so times that times 60 seconds. There's 60 seconds in 1 minute. That equals 1110. And you do that also times 60, because there's 60 minutes in an hour. You're stuck with 66,600.
666.
So the Earth is traveling around the sun at 66,600 miles per hour, but yet we cannot feel like we are spinning at all. And as you can see here, the Earth orbits 93 million miles away from the sun. I mean, come on, guys. Those of you who work outside, you can even go outside and observe yourself. The sun is nowhere near 93 million miles away. And if you think that, then you were like I was. I did not believe the Earth was flat at first.
You're a retard.
Research
You're retarded.
Stuff like this, and it's just like, wow. Like how could I have been so dumb? As you can see right here, Earth's distance from the sun is different in different times of year. In January, it is 91 million miles away from the sun, so it's closer. Then in July, when it's hot, it is about a 5 million miles difference. We're 94 million miles away from the sun.
Further.
In January. In July.
In the summer.
In January, we're 91 million miles away. So that tells you right there that, wow, someone's math is completely wrong. It says 91.4, 94.5, but it's still 3 or 4 million miles difference. It's actually about 3, but for some reason right here it says about 5 million miles.
5 million miles away further
anyways,
when it's hot as
the
fuck.
Earth's distance, I mean, this is just made up bull crap.
Kilometers.
Okay? Yeah. This is just the elite are laughing at us. Okay.
So in the wintertime, we're 91 million miles away. In the summertime, we're 95 million miles away. Mm-hmm. So we're 3 million miles away further from the sun when it's super hot outside. But when it's cold outside, we're 3 million miles closer to the sun when it's cold.
And forget every 3 or 6 months when we're supposed to be on the other opposite side of the sun, and all the constellations are still the same. None of them change. None of them have ever changed all throughout history. I mean, any experiment like the Cavendish experiment can't be replicated. The Michelson-Morley, the Aries failure, right? None of them showed any movement of the Earth. It proved that the Earth is stationary.
Absolutely.
You go with Aristophanes and him measuring shadows outside the obelisk, right?
I should have smoked before this, man. My boy Rick said I should have smoked before this.
Definitely helps.
Yeah, it helps. Smoke one. Blaze one up, Rick.
Yeah. So
okay, look at this clock, right? Ordinary clock, right? That we're taught in school. Okay? You take any number that is directly across from the other number, and you are left with 6.
Yeah.
12 minus 6, 6. 11 minus 5, 6. Mm-hmm. 10 minus 4, 6. 9 minus 3, 6. 8 minus 2, 6. 7 minus 1 is 6. So if you go in this clock, anything directly across from this clock, it is going to end up with the number 6. And also 6, the number 666 is because everything is made up of 666. It has 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. Carbon, which everything is made out of some type of carbon, has to do with the number 666. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. Mm-hmm. That is another thing that we have to pay attention to. That is hidden in plain sight. That is the mark of the beast. Your body is the mark of the beast, because our body, it craves, look, alcohol, it craves sex, it craves attention, it craves all these urges that have to do with the quote unquote devil. Mm-hmm. So whenever your body, like your spirit is God. God is in your heart, is in your mind, is in your spirit, in your heart, in your mind. But your body, that is the true mark. We are beasts. Yeah. We crave a lot of food. We crave a lot of attention. Yeah. We crave a lot of these earthly things that make us addicted to these things on earth. This dopamine, this
if we let our 7 deadly sins take over, like if we become glutinous and greedy, then if you allow these things to win, and like we said last time, you know, it's a battle of principalities and
yes,
and we wrestle with every day, not flesh. So it
is a spiritual battle.
It's a spiritual war that takes place in the mind, and it's so yeah.
Do you think that you create a thought?
I mean, I'm sure it comes from somewhere, for sure. Like I think we're also kind of like antennas in a way. Like we can connect to because it's a powerful thought of thinking about that, because personally I'm thinking like all the answers are already inside of us in a way that we can tap into all the answers.
So do you create
But I don't know
thoughts?
if I don't know if it just comes from exactly within us at all times, or we're just connecting with the higher power or something greater than us that gives us the information, and we're just receiving it at the time that we want to try to connect to it. So it's I don't know, it's a hard question, but it's a good question.
Yeah, because I wrestle with the question, do we actually create a thought, or does it just come to us from our subconscious mind that puts it in our head? Because whenever you think bad stuff, you don't want to think. Like when people are sad or when people are depressed or whatever like that, they're not choosing that, but it comes into their head. So, and a lot of people think that whenever they do bad things, they say, oh, it's the devil. But do you think there's an actual devil, like an actual, not a person, but a being,
like an essence of evil
or an entity? Do you think there's somebody controlling the evil and wicked? Like, I know there's good and bad. There's good and evil, right?
Yeah.
But is there something controlling that, or is it just in our minds and we don't have control?
It very well could be both. It could be that there's something constantly trying to make us do bad, but we decide whether we want to do it or not. You know, like we decide whether we want to tap into that evil nature or completely reject it. Be like, no, I shouldn't do that. Because it is a decision, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Have you heard the theories of how people used to communicate with, like, telepathically without speaking?
Yeah, I've heard about that, but it was more like I don't know if it was telepathically, but they just had an understanding. Like they just intuitively had an understanding of what kind of they wanted and what they should do, and they just did it without even speaking a word.
Because you know how they say we only use 10% of our brain's capacity.
That's real,
Right. Who knows if that's real or not? But what do you think you can do if you tap into the other 90%? If that was real, what do you think you can do if you tap into the other 90% of your brain's capacity?
Because are you going into like telepathy and all that? Because they do say that, like, because what was that show about Stranger Things?
Yep.
That it was actually based on real experiments that the CIA or something was doing with kids trying.
I'm sure CIA and the Mossad.
I mean, they've been doing it for a very long time. But who knows?
CIA is the same.
They're just an offshoot. It's like everything else. It's like MI6. It's of course, which is pretty good because there's a movie that just reminded me of that, The Good Shepherd, that dives into that really well about the CIA, how it started and what they do. And dude, they hold nothing back in that movie. It's fucking crazy. You should watch it.
I just watched this documentary. It's called Chaos. It's about the Marilyn Manson, about
he was a CIA asset.
He was a CIA asset, and how they use MK Ultra.
MK Ultra. Yeah, he was an MK Ultra victim.
Is it?
And they were doing experiments all over the country. They were putting whorehouses and strip clubs all over the place, and they were drugging even regular civilians unknowingly. They were going into strip clubs and they were dosing them with LSD and making them do all types of crazy shit.
Is it COINTELPRO? Yes. COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program, a series of covert and illegal projects conducted by the FBI.
Yeah.
This is official news, by the way, guys.
Yeah, no, this is all...
This is AI overview.
They released it not so long ago.
A series of covert and illegal conducted by the FBI from 1956 to 1971. The FBI aimed to surveillance, infiltrate, and discredit and disrupt American political organizations such as the Black Panthers and the hippies. Organized it deemed subversive. So the COINTELPRO and the I'm sorry, I have this I have me covering this shit. MK Ultra. I just watched a movie the other day, actually last night, It was the new Captain America, the Black Captain America, DEI.
Okay,
The DEI Black Captain America.
Brave New World.
Yeah, the Brave New World.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is about the president and about everybody else who gets under mind control.
Yeah.
And MK Ultra, and it has to do with this COINTELPRO, this MK Ultra shit, that they have your DNA, they have your encryption, where they can tap into your mind whenever they want, and they can put whatever. They play a sound, boom.
This is a theory of why all these school shooters and how they get them to talk.
Exactly.
I heard voices telling me I should do this and all. I forget that guy's name. They have video of him whenever they arrested him in the interrogation room, where he was saying that he just would hear voices.
But our own country, and this is also in Stranger Things, and the most popular show.
They released documents of them of
it's
MK Ultra.
It's official.
Documents that it's official. They did
it's not
this.
It's not a theory.
No, this is now legit, real. Like you can't.
It's not a theory that we're not just making
theory.
up.
No.
The COINTELPRO and the MK Ultra programs, we may not make our own thoughts, but we make our own decisions. Amen to that.
But
we make our own decisions. Whenever we come down to a decision we have to make, we have to live with our decisions.
Yeah.
So our thoughts might come from something else. Thank you, Rick, for that comment. That's a good comment too, by the way. Rick, if you want to call in, man, call in, dude. I'm about to
open the chat lines.
I'm about to open the call lines. Rick, I'm about to give you a call. I'm about to call you, Rick. Answer the phone. Let me see if we can hear him. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. My boy Rick, man. I work with this dude. But he's a good dude. Hopefully he answers. He's not asleep by now. Rick, answer the phone. If not, I'm gonna call.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
He didn't answer. I'm gonna call one more guy. I don't know if he'll call me back, but I'm gonna call Toby. See if he answers. He might be asleep by now. He might not be asleep.
What's up, Gabe?
Toby. Oh, Devin.
What's up, buddy?
What are you doing, buddy?
Right here at my dad's house, chilling.
The fuck you doing, bro?
We went out to eat on the Joe's, getting drunk there, and I came over here, smoking and chilling with Dad.
Oh, fucking thanks for the invite.
There was nothing planned. We just went to a Bonnie Joe's last spur of the moment, me and Missy did. Then Tom's neighborhood's flooded, so I was like, bring the weed to my dad.
Sorry. You're I'm doing a podcast right now, dude. You're actually we're live streaming.
Oh my God! Stop it, Gabe.
It don't matter, dude. Nobody knows it's you.
Okay. So now don't put me on radio show host. I'll give you the personality. Here it is. It's Toby Barrington.
We're dude. We're on my podcast right now. We're live streaming. Hello?
Yeah. Hello, it's Toby.
Hey, Toby. We're live streaming right now on my podcast. We're talking about
subject?
We're talking about conspiracy theories right now. We're talking about the CIA, COINTELPRO, and MK Ultra, how they mind control people. And it was covert by the CIA, maybe the Mossad too, Israeli intelligence, and talking about how it was a political movement made to control the Black Panthers and the hippies in the 1970s and 80s, and how it's actually fact now. It's actually proven now that this MK Ultra.
It is fact, and it's also progressed into controlling the American people, the world, everything, world affairs. Everything else, the mind control. TV's weaponized. Advertisements are weaponized. Everything is. I mean, medicine's weaponized.
Do you think? do you think that they have a like, how do you think that they achieve this? Is it through vaccines? Is it through predictive programming on the television?
AI is the biggest thing now, and it's way more advanced than they're leading us on to or whatever. It's, you know, if you get on Facebook or you get on anything really in the advertisement and listen to everything you ever say, it'll and at times it actually, you can look at it and the stuff that pops up, you think it's reading your mind. Reading your mind even before you ever think I didn't even say that, but yeah, it's there. Kind of weird.
And
what do you think?
And yeah, I 100% agree. But I think
say AI is running the world.
Absolutely. Our stream is down on YouTube, by the way. We're up to 15 viewers. I believe it's on X, but because our stream got taken down on YouTube. But I'll upload it. They took down our stream on YouTube. I guess we said some shit that we shouldn't have said. We're talking about chemtrails and how they're spraying chemicals over our bodies and how it's getting everybody sick. And it might be, and by the way, we're in Pride Month, Toby. It might be a big attribute to what they're doing to promote the gay pedophile agenda.
Well, chemtrails, the biggest attribution of chemtrails is 1,000% increase in dementia, 1,000% increase in Alzheimer's since they've been, it's documented that they were spraying since 1987 or something like that, minimal. And then now there's dozens of patents on, geoengineering and aerosol induction high altitude, and it's heavy metals, even though it's microscopic, Yeah. So it passes the blood-brain barrier, and that I would say that's the reason you're having all Alzheimer's and dementia, and everybody, because you never heard of that before, and all my old relatives and all that stuff, they didn't get any of that. Same thing with vaccines. If you look at charts don't lie, and charts same way with autism and increase in vaccines from, like later 17 to 74 or something like that when they're still infants, the infant doesn't need a hepatitis B vaccine, they're not using dirty needles, they're not having sex, then they put all this other stuff in there. And basically, I would say all of it goes down to population control, which that's something that the elite, they're obsessed with that. Who knows what's really true, but I know that they're poisoning us in our food and our water and the air. There's no way you can even hide from it.
So it's all about population control, you think?
I would say that that's the center thing of everything. Wars, disease, famine, they control it, and they're trying to, if you listen to all the big families, Rothschild and everybody, there's a lot more that no one's ever even heard of or anything like that. That's the main thing. The population control thing is that's their cup of tea. That they want to do that, and I think vaccines and all that stuff. It's kind of like Russian roulette with vaccines. I've seen people die of lung cancer and never smoked a day in their life. I've seen, cancer come to young people. I saw the COVID vaccine, of course, which is the most deadly bioweapon ever introduced on the human population. There's somebody else controlling the world, And I hope Trump's not false hope or something like that,
Yeah.
I really do. But if you look at the Hunger Games, and they always show us in movies and everything, technology, they show us that, their goals. When the president of, whatever the federation was called, and other people, he said, we have to keep them with hope, because then they'll really rebel, And so Trump gives us hope. Other than that, I don't know. You never really know what the truth is, honestly, about a lot of things.
That's what I was saying, because we see all this backlash with the illegal immigration, deportation. We see all this stuff that calling Trump a racist and a fascist. But also in the big beautiful bill, it has something where it says that AI will override the ruling of the states, where They
yes, I don't like that.
That's what I said.
In there.
I don't like
But,
that
you
in
know,
there either.
Sometimes, you know, the way Washington works and all that stuff, to get things done, you have to butter bread for other people, something they vote on it for their constituents or for their political, you know, people that they donate money to them and everything else like that. And nothing's going to be perfect, you know, when you get that's really the basis of all that stuff. It's just nothing's going to be perfect. And I don't like that. I'm for states' rights. You know, if you don't like what they're doing, you know, move to another state.
Right.
I like the states' rights thing, but nothing's perfect. And if it's got 95% good stuff in it, and you know 5% bad stuff, you're gonna have to accept it. You know, as far as law goes, codified into law or whatever.
And we were also talking about flat Earth, and my take on flat Earth is they don't want you to they don't want you to trust your senses, and they want to keep the population dumbed down and keeping this fake space programs. And other countries, all the countries about the space program are conspiring together. They all know that the Earth is flat, but
you have to, if you look at any maps, and even if you look at maps from the U.S. Navy or the U.S. Air Force or anything like that, back before NASA ever came around, they were flat Earth maps.
Yep.
As simple as that.
Yep.
And nothing makes any sense as far as the globe spinning it, whatever. No, I mean, but the way it is, if they tell you a lie long enough, you know, and most people believe it. You just keep telling the same old lie, same old lie, same old lie, same old lie. You know, I believe it's flat Earth myself, and I believe it's a lot bigger than we're
common sense. Common sense lets you believe in your natural, your natural observations helps you believe that it is a flat Earth, and that when we are being lied to whenever we are given the math of how fast it's spinning, the circumference, the tilt, everything. For some reason, we always end up with some type of numerology that is attributed to 666. And
that's a different subject altogether. But you see everything as far as devil worship and everything, and all the TV. You see, like I said, it's weaponized. You know, you see gays together all the time. Even if it's your favorite show, it hadn't had none of that stuff in it. And all of a sudden, fourth season, when it got picked up, well, you're going to have black and white together. You're going to have, you know, women in power, powerful women. You're going to have gays, or we won't finance your theories, you know.
Yeah.
Bunch of DEI bullshit. That's where you go with mind control, and, you know, that's the CIA or whatever. You know, you don't know who's controlling the CIA. You don't even know.
Israel.
The more you know, the less you know. Because
Israel.
It just opens up a caveat of things it could be or whatever, you know. Say, you know, just like, okay, what? Oh, hey, hold on. Now I realize this. Now I realize this. Now I realize this. It actually gets you addicted to thinking, though, you know. But you'll never know the truth because you don't live long enough.
And it makes you question Adolf Hitler and his intentions, because he was trying to eradicate the Jews as a whole, but he is painted, and you cannot trust the government. We know that you cannot trust the government. If they tell you something, somebody is the devil or somebody is the worst in history, you know it's most likely the opposite. Adolf Hitler was trying to control the Jews, but they are literally kicked out of 109
countries.
100.
Well, there's two different kind of Jews. The Ashkenazi and, you know, like the American Jews are different than, say, the ones that are in the Middle East. A lot of them, you know. Of course, they've infiltrated or whatever, but Jews are God's chosen people.
Right.
But you have a lot of fake Jews. You know, just like you got a lot of fake Catholics. like the Pope and all that stuff. These people are pedophiles and they don't worship God. Not our God, that we worship. And who's to say what's a true God? I really don't know about any of that, but all I know is for goodness and everything that I've been taught, it ain't nothing like some of the stuff that you hear from some of the other religions. Not all of them, but say Muslim and like the Quran or whatever, and things like that. That's violence and killing anyone you think's less than. And I don't know. Religion is another. I would say religion's another method of control and division. That's all they want is control and division. And they want you to. They leak out stuff so you get lost in the truth. Once you start hearing the truth, it clouds up in memory, because you're like wanting to know more truth, more truth, more truth, more truth. Because we as humans, we should have addictive personalities anyway. So most of us do. It depends what it is, but that's the way it is. So sometimes information, they use that to control us too. I would say AI is the deal. I mean, they've just now openly started saying about it and stuff. And you think about the movies and Terminator and all that stuff, and they show you what
Skynet.
Well, at least what they want to happen in the future.
You mentioned that
they
earlier.
already have all that. You didn't know they've been recording every single thing you ever said from your TV, from your light bulb, from your phone. And there's a deal you sign. Hey, I agree to this, and it's got like 25,000 words in it. And you just scroll down and click on it, and it says all that. How you give up all your personal freedom, privacy, any of that shit. That's human nature, and they prey on human nature. I don't know who they is, but they're the bad guys.
And now, Israel just bombed. Just sent some.
Yeah, and I didn't like that at all.
You did not like that? That Israel sent bombs to.
I mean, to me, there's
Iran?
another phantom. You have to understand. Look, as far as I'm concerned, like. They say Hitler. Well, they finance Hitler for everything. I don't know what he really done. I don't know what really happened. Everybody that lived from that thing, all they do is they went to war. They got. I know, but I'm just saying they got the newspaper or whatever. They didn't really know. They're just going to war because they're patriotic and they went to war. And I know a lot of. Well, my girlfriend's dad was, a veteran from World War II, and. He didn't know really. He just knew he was going. Nobody know that. Look at how much information we have now. Yet we don't know the truth.
Yeah.
Well, look at the small amount of information that you used to get a long time ago. The War of the Worlds, when they came on the radio, because everybody switched to radio because there was no TV. When they put the War of the Worlds by Orson Welles on, everybody thought we were being invaded by aliens. I'm not kidding.
Now,
they learned from that moment when they did that they could control everybody.
The aliens is a false flag to me.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Because the aliens, that's gonna get everybody. That is gonna be the turning point where we're gonna say, okay, we need to all come together. God. We need to have a one world government. We need to have a one world currency. We need to have a new world order where we can all come together. But I'm not sure if China and North Korea and every other country is gonna come to agreements that we need to come together against some fake alien invasion, and it's gonna have some world currency and new world order.
Yeah, just when you say like North Korea and China and this and that, there you go. There's your division. You understand what I'm saying?
In Russia.
Well, it don't matter who it is. Any of that, they're not the enemy. There's somebody else that's the enemy. And it ain't none of these countries or any of that stuff. That's not, it's someone else that's the puppeteers that are the enemy. We get pitted against one another in whatever wars. I could see wars over natural resources and stuff like that when survival, stuff, but all this other stuff, political, wars. And, I mean, it's to create division between humans. So, is there something else? Is there someone else controlling everything, or other entity? Maybe something, devil, fallen angel, something like that. I don't know. You're getting to so many things when you start talking about everything.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep on one subject.
Hey, dude, I will thank you for so much for picking the phone up. I need to bring you over here in person.
We will one day.
No, like soon.
All right, Bob.
Don't tell me one day. I need a fucking date. Don't tell me one day. I need a definitive.
I'll tell you what. I will look, Owen. I really will. I promise.
I need you to come down here. I need you to be here in person because I need you to explain this shit and break it down for everybody who doesn't know online.
I will.
All right, Toby. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you next week, and we're gonna go golfing, and we're gonna talk about this shit, and we're gonna set this shit up. All right.
Give us a call. All right. Good night. God bless you, brother.
God bless you, brother. I love you. All right.
Yeah, you were getting into a little bit of a Project Blue Dream there.
He was. Yeah. You have to go ahead and wrap it up, or
I can do just a little bit longer. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't know if you want what you wanted to end with, or
I have a couple of different stories. Allegedly, Bonnie Blue.
Oh, that she's a guy or something.
The whore who got fucked. Chat. Oh, it's so delayed. Not the stream in the chat. Okay. Thank you, babe, for commenting on Twitter, but on X. Bonnie Blue is allegedly a man. Bro, imagine she fucked 1,000 dudes and she turned out to be a man. This says Kyle Butler, born 1985, known professionally as Bonnie Blue, is an English pornographic actress and OnlyFans creator. So this is making its waves, its viral moment on X.
And I just saw she got kicked off. OnlyFans just banned her for the.
She was gonna
the petting zoo bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah. She's gonna get into a glass case, get gagged and tied up.
She was gonna go
do whatever they want to her.
in a glass case and let the public go and ram her.
Do whatever they wanted.
Do whatever they wanted in public.
Mm-hmm.
This is fucking crazy. How much of a fucking whore
I
this
wouldn't be
bitch
surprised
is.
if it also comes out that she's Jewish or some shit. If she comes from,
Yeah, Bonnie Blue, allegedly a man, and she is being exposed on X. Now, I see the resemblance of this guy, but ain't no telling nowadays. It could be AI, it could be fake, could be all this shit. But people are saying online that Bonnie Blue, imagine being the 1,000 guys and fucking an actual
and maybe that's why she could do
transgender
it,
woman.
It might be a fake vagina. That's why she couldn't feel nothing. And it's just
That is fucking amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Crazy stuff.
This is a clip of Nancy Mace asking Tampon Tim, what is a woman?
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
What is a woman?
I'm not sure I understand what is the question. What is a woman? It is a person a woman is an adult human female. That's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the definition of a woman. Adult human female. And they can't give that fucking definition.
If they kick illegal immigrants, I should kick out anybody who can't answer that question.
This is a post from Candace Owens. She says, the most predictable war, plausible ever. I'm so sick of Israel and those who pretend its actions are normal or even remotely justifiable. This country has a bloodlust like no other. Have an issue with this tweet? I literally do not care. Think defeating Israel's demonic actions is going to guarantee you a spot in heaven. Double your indulgences, and sign your offspring up to die for Netanyahu. Leave the rest of us to the hell alone. Leave the rest of us to the hell alone. This is a picture of Israel striking Iran's capital in Tehran. And they're killing a lot of innocent women and children.
It's gonna get interesting.
That's a post from Candace Owens, her official X account. This is just a extra tweet. Rampage Jackson is so unhinged in his tweets. Actually hilarious. I love Rampage Jackson.
Yeah, he's a wild boy.
He's wild.
What's up?
Please excuse me.
Huh?
Man, y'all don't ass like that. That's so fucking disrespectful. Do me a favor, bro. Shut your ass up. Listen, bro, I know this your month and stuff, but you don't gotta act all extra. Moving on. That's my girlfriend, nigga. Why you hitting her like right in front of me? Look at her. I'll break your other leg, nigga. Look at. He mad. I'm Conor McNair. So why you hanging out at my table next to this hottie if you work here?
If it's your table, it's my table.
Are you being a dick right now?
I'm not trying to be.
Yeah, but you are though.
Well, that's just because you're sensitive then.
Hey, get the fuck out of my table. I already figured out you a bitch. Get your bitch ass off my table. Hey, I don't play that shit. Get the fuck on, nigga. That's your boyfriend?
No, that's my brother.
That's your brother?
Respect.
Hey, your sister hot as fuck. You sure you don't mind? All right. Get the fuck out of here if I fuck you up, bitch.
Have you had negra?
What you call me, bitch? I've been a
What you call me,
for 3
bitch?
days. I'm never going back.
What were you before?
Nigga.
Rampage Jackson's off the fucking chain on his kick. Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna be everybody rioting in LA. That's a post from X. Hilarious. Allegedly, Antonio Brown fucked Gavin Newton's wife. And also, Antonio Brown is facing charges.
Yeah, attempted murder charges.
Antonio Brown faces attempted murder charges after boxing event incident. Antonio Brown, once celebrated for his prowess in the football field, is currently sought by Miami-Dade County authorities on charges of attempted murder. The incident unfolded at a celebrity boxing event in May, where Brown allegedly engaged in a violent confrontation. While details of the event are still emerging, it's clear that the situation escalated significantly, leading to legal repercussions for Brown. Various reports confirm his involvement in the incident, though specifics like the use of firearm remain under scrutiny. Brown was briefly detained, but has since claimed he was the one attacked. This claim has captured public attention, highlighting the complexities of celebrity life intersecting with legal issues. So Antonio Brown is allegedly facing attempted murder charges. Pray for AB. Hopefully he doesn't go to jail.
Yeah, I think some guys are trying to snatch his chain or something like that.
Yes, they were. This is a message from the California mayor. She is admitting something right here. Check it out.
Hi, guys. I called on this press conference to let everyone know that I am, in fact, retarded. I know most of you already knew that, but just in case any of you still has any doubt whatsoever on whether I'm a retard or not, I want you to know that I am retarded. Oh,
Okay.
and Gavin Newsom
Makes sense,
is
makes
also
sense.
retarded. He's super retarded. Oh, and every single Democrat, too. All Democrats are retarded. That's it.
So
That
was
makes
like
a lot of
AI or what?
sense. That makes a lot of sense, guys. She is admitting that she's retarded. Gavin Newsom is retarded. That makes sense for what's going on in California over the past couple of days.
100% do. The protests that are going on in LA, I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown fucking tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America, in a country that gave you the fucking freedom to do that shit. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't El Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Half you motherfuckers protesting ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted, I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag while shitting on the country that gave you the fucking freedom to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to fucking Mexico unless it's for spring break in Cancun with a passport you got from the US government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash. Your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream dumb shit without a cartel rolling up on your motherfucking ass.
Fair,
And let's be
over there though.
Say what?
I mean, well, to be fair, they do got DoorDash and 7-Elevens over there. And all that,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, what I get his point.
The 7-Elevens are taking over. Here we have a new Polish MEP, Gregorich Braun, destroyed an exhibition promoting the LGBTQ ideology, and I applaud him for this. Destroying it, ripping that shit down. Fuck all that LGBT bullshit. Breaking those posters. And ripping it to shreds. As you can see, I'm not with that gay shit. So if that's your prerogative, that is your prerogative. Okay? All right, guys, I want to thank the 24 viewers we have right here in the chat. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. I want to thank my boy Luis Estrada here joining me for the podcast. Thank you, as always, brother. I'm definitely going to bring you back for another episode, another conspiracy episode. We're going to talk on Friday the 13th, and we're going to go more deeper into all the shit that we have to cover. We haven't even fucking scratch the surface.
Yeah.
So there's so much shit more to unveil. Thank you to all my viewers in here. We got 24 viewers right here in the chat on X. Thank you. Let's go. Make sure you drop a like, a comment, whether you agree or disagree. Make sure you follow and subscribe. My brother, you have anything last to say to everybody before we sign off?
Just take care of yourselves, man. Just be very careful with the distractions out here. Don't fall too much for it. Most of it's for rage baiting. Get you full of fear and anger and more division, more distractions, and at the end of the day, all we got is each other. So yeah, I think that's all I got to say at the end. So
well, I definitely appreciate you coming through, brother. I appreciate you. God bless everybody for watching us and following us and chiming in on the chat. My boy Rick, Trillian, Nunya, Raina, Toby, Devin, everybody who commented on the fucking chat. Brian Alvarez. And thank you everybody for following the podcast. And make sure you tune in and like and subscribe for more podcasts coming to you live over the airwaves. And we will come to you live and we speak the truth always, and we will always uphold you guys, and we'll never talk any lies to you, of course. We'll tell you guys how it is, and you guys can make the decision for yourselves whether you agree with us or disagree with us. Make sure you drop a comment and let us know what you think in the comments, guys. So God bless you guys. You have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next time on the Gabriel podcast. Special shout out to my boy Luis Estrada, and we will have him back. Definitely, we will have him back very soon for the next edition of our conspiracy podcast, guys. So make sure y'all tune in for that, and make sure y'all check it out. All right, guys, y'all have a good night. Peace out.
Deuces.